Hello internet, Yulia speaking, and it is actually September. Please ignore this disaster going on because it is still very hot and I cannot do anything to tame it. I basically started off this pre-uni week, welcome week if you will, by finishing off all of my kind of loose ends and admin things with regards to the accommodation things. So basically I returned the keys of my old one and finally figured out the Wi-Fi because there were issues. I really dislike that there is absolutely no way to contact anyone reception wise if it's a weekend, unless obviously it's like an emergency or something. And although I feel that my lack of Wi-Fi was an emergency, I didn't quite want to go as far as like calling the police or something, you know? Anyways, apart from that, I also finally went on a big grocery shop at Auchan, or as I would have normally called it in Russian, Ashan. But I don't know which is right and what to say in English because I've never seen it in an English-speaking country. But yeah, and as I grabbed all of my cleaning supplies, toiletries, and food, obviously, and was completely done and approaching the cashier, I realized that because I was out doing errands in the morning, I was not expecting to pay for anything and therefore did not have my wallet with me. Awkward. So basically I go up to this guy standing next to the till, like a worker there, not just some random dude, and try to really politely ask if I can just leave it there, all of my stuff, like this whole, not trolley, but like carrier thingy of stuff, and be like, can I just leave this here? And because I forgot my wallet and I will be back in like 10 minutes. And he was like, no problem, of course. So I was really grateful because I've not had breakfast yet and it's like almost 1 because I had no food. And I was really not keen on going back for my wallet and then starting over again and finding all the things again. So just, the guy slightly saved my life today. But yeah, that's it. I still have to figure out how to end these updates because transitions are awkward.
Down, yeah. I've been feeling so down, yeah. Can you tell me why? Can you tell me why I'm down, yeah. No friends of mine around, yeah. Now I'm thinking might have caught the June blues.
I just almost sprinted to sign up for a Japanese class. This one is on the ancient civilization of Japan, which I'm very excited to learn about. And literally, my name was the last one on that sign-up sheet. Now, I don't know if maybe like the sign-up sheet had a second side, but like, whew, I was so happy that I got there on time. And honestly, like, if you have an opportunity to be somewhere before your year abroad, like to be there early, like at least a week early, like maybe not too early because then like realistically the offices are still going to be closed and stuff, but if you can be there early, do it. Because today, like, it's Thursday, so there's just Friday tomorrow left, and then from Monday on actual classes start. So like the sign up, it wouldn't have been finished because like for Erasmus, for example, we can still pretty much decide what we're gonna do in the first 2 weeks, and we can like switch classes and stuff and re-sign up for things. But like the majority of the students will actually have to start like proper classes that they can't switch around from next week. So the sign up, like the administration section of the building was just swarming. Like you could not pass down a hallway without like a huge amount of people trying to go around you, and like the queues were just all over the place for the offices, because what you have to do here is that you literally stand in a line like in front of the office of like the person in charge of whatever subjects that you want to sign up for, and like hope that you're there early enough that all the spots aren't taken yet. And literally I saw on the door that they said that the Japanese class that I signed up for a few days ago, it was already full. So I'm so happy that like I went early for that one, and when I did go and sign up for that one, like the offices were barely even open yet, so there, and like majority of the students hadn't even arrived yet, so like whew. So now I am 95% sure that I've signed up for everything that needed me to be physically present there. And now I just need to make sure that I go to all the classes on like in the first week, and I guess figure out how I'm meant to sign up for the ones that don't have a person limit. Honestly, like the sign up process is just so confusing to me. I've never actually had to physically go to the module leaders, tutors, like office to sign up for their class. Like normally at my uni we would just pick like via the online system, and most of them are core modules anyway, so they're like already picked for us. And then once we pick that, like the next term, we just kind of get sent our timetable. Like we don't even know who's going to be teaching the modules most of the time. I mean, sometimes we do, but it depends. So yeah, tip, before you go on year abroad, like the summer before, maybe not like extremely early, because extremely early you're not going to get a lot of information about the upcoming year. You're probably going to get outdated information from previous years, but that does help too anyways. But before you're there, figure out which modules you want to do. Maybe not like every single module and have like your whole timetable planned out, because that could backfire. That could like, you could arrive there and they'd be like, oh, actually we've changed it and what you've been looking at is like the old timetable or whatever. But figure out which modules you like really want to do, like stuff that is actually important, and maybe, I don't know, it's things that you can't study at your home university or something like that. And read about the sign-up process. Like if it doesn't say anything in particular, then like that's great, good for you. But if it says like limited space, or like gives the name of a specific room or person whom you need to talk to for, like for signing up purposes, like make sure you read that, because it could come as a nasty surprise if you arrive there and you looked at the time for when the class was on, and you go there and they're like, well, actually, it's already been full like 2 weeks ago. So yeah, that was my little tip from this very stressful run that I just made to the uni. Honestly, like, I really don't like that lady. She was not particularly pleasant the second time round either. At least I'm signed up though. That's relief. Walk around like who you, yeah. Just something you get used to, yeah. Go blame the drum blows, yeah. It's just the drum blows, yeah. Walk around like who you, yeah. Just something you get used to, yeah. I've had to cut my journée d'accueil short and come back to accommodation because hopefully my boxes are meant to arrive right now, but that means I had to miss the treasure hunt. I really want to do the treasure hunt and win all the prizes. Oh well. So, not great news. The boxes never actually arrived yesterday, and I missed half a day of welcome activities for absolutely no reason, because I had to rush back and essentially sit inside all day. But they never called. I never got like a little leaflet thingy in my mailbox, because I did check that as well, and the website now says that the delivery is pending. If only I knew what that meant. So that's not fun, but trying not to let that get to me, because I'm already stressed enough as it is in the first, like in the weekend before the first week. So today it's really cloudy actually for the first time since I've been here. So I'm gonna get some document stuff sorted. I need to go out and print some stuff to fill out, which is gonna be interesting, because normally I'd either have like a uni printer or something at home if I'm back home, but here like I have to actually find a place that like prints for money. Hopefully it's not too expensive, and hopefully I can print it from my email, because I do not have a USB, but we shall see. And then apart from that, I basically just need to read through a huge amount of information and leaflets and kind of like documents that they've been sending us that I've been avoiding, and go through like 30 emails ish, yeah, because I've been doing this thing where I've like skim it as soon as it arrives, and then I pin it to the top and be like, it's not crucially important for me to see right now, so I will get to it later. And it's kind of been piling up, and now it's just it's not great. And apart from that, I'm also gonna really try and upload something long overdue today. We'll see if I get to that though. France actually ended up being a lot more old-fashioned than I guess I expected it to be. If you need to do anything, documents or just like registration related, you have to go everywhere in person. Just now I had to go print something, and it was literally the first time in my life that I was in one of those like places where you can rent a computer for like an hour or like any amount of time that you need. And like I've printed things in like printer shops or whatever before, but it's just normally you just kind of give them a USB or like send it by email. You don't actually have to like rent a computer to go on your email and like get your documents or whatever. I don't know, it wasn't like a bad experience or something, it was just nothing I've really ever had to do before. And the noises in the background, if you can hear them, is me trying to boil water in a frying pan, because as I previously mentioned, my boxes are still not here. It's the first day tomorrow, and I'm kind of freaking out. I'm kind of also really, really cold. It went from really hot to really cold very quickly, and it would be great, like don't get me wrong, I love cold weather, but it needs to be warm inside for me to enjoy the cold weather. And I currently don't understand how to work the heating radiator thing, and I've turned it around many directions and I don't know if it's doing something. And of course, anytime something happens that requires assistance, it's always a weekend and there's always no one anywhere. But yeah, in terms of actual like lectures and things, I don't really know how much I'm gonna be filming, because, well, just because it would probably feel a little bit awkward to whip out my phone, especially if it's a relatively small lecture hall. So I guess we'll see. I am really, really excited though, because, well, I mean, technically the first class that I have is actually one, like, can I really say it's the one I hated most in first year? Yeah, I mean,
There were two that I really didn't like, but this was way up there in the top 3, you know. So I'm not too excited about that one, but I am excited about the history of Russian literature and Japanese that I have tomorrow. I've never actually studied any of these things in school or uni or just any kind of learning environment that wasn't self-taught, I guess. So I'm really excited to see how that's gonna go. I'm also kind of freaking out a lot, which is why my voice is shaking all over the place. Also, unlike Warwick, Strasbourg Uni does not have an interactive map with all of the room locations. And the genius that I am, I have not gone to all the buildings to try and find the places before any of the classes. So, still deciding whether I should wake up early and go on a little scouting mission or just wing it. We shall see. But mostly what I'm stressing about is like the actual interaction with the lecturers and being like, can I sit in on this class? And hopefully it's not too full because I really, really, really want to do it. Guess I'll let you know how that goes tomorrow. It's tomorrow. I've been here for like 3 weeks now, and still anytime anything new happens, I'm just like a freaking mess. Let's just say I'm shaking because it's cold. You know, that's reasonable. Anyways.
So, yeah, I'm not filming anything during lectures. It is awkward enough as it is. So far, they've actually been really good. I've had 2. The first one was the sociolinguistics one, which is gonna be just as much of a pain as it was in first year. So there's that. And then the second one that I had was the Russian history, like Russian literature and history one, I don't know, but basically it has me itching to get out my like Russian textbooks and notes from 6th form because the period that I studied was actually that same one, and I kept like remembering facts and being like, oh, I can just picture my notes when I wrote that, but I could not remember it when you asked the question. But yeah, I'm really excited. And why is it always the notes that you actually cave and end up throwing out thinking you'll never use again that end up being useful? I also know that I have a book on this period somewhere back home, so I may ask my mom or dad or whoever is probably coming to visit soonest, ask them to get it for me, because I'm getting really excited. Like, this is, I'm so happy that like the things that I picked out, well, apart from like a couple core things like the sociolinguistics thing, but like the rest of it is just stuff that I'm genuinely so excited to study that like I would not have had the possibility of studying in any other situation. So yay.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features. You'll find her beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet
I'm
her.
officially done with the first week of like actual proper lectures. And technically it is Thursday, but I don't have anything on Fridays. Yes. And I'm actually in a bit of a dilemma. I just had a module and the lecturer had some kind of thing going on, and so she couldn't make it. And basically there was just someone who came by and was like, write down your names, and pretty much just told us that we're gonna have an exam and a presentation for this module. And so my initial thought was like, escape while I still have the chance of switching to a different module. But then the dilemma came in when I started talking to someone and actually made a friend who was super helpful and like showed me all of this like languages department thing, and basically now I want to stay in the class. But I really don't want to have to do a presentation in French in front of what is essentially a lecture hall. Seriously hoping that it wouldn't have to be in that lecture hall. It's also like on the relationship of Greek with like other European languages, and that is not even like, if it was a linguistics topic at least I'd have some like background knowledge to fall back onto, but like this is not something that I've ever studied before, and speaking to people who are fluent in French has proven that my level is not as fantastic as it may have seemed. Like basically talking to other foreigners is really easy, and like the only issue that I would have if there's like a specific vocab thing that I didn't understand, so then we just Google it collectively, you know, and it's fine. But talking to like actual French people slash, I don't know, people who are fluent in French, it's just, I don't even know what it is. It's not the pronunciation, because like the foreigners also have great pronunciation, and it's not like, I mean it is to a certain extent the vocabulary, but it's more like it goes past my ears, like I can't quite catch the words, and not necessarily because they're speaking quickly, but I don't know. For some reason, it took ages for me to tune into, like, switch my brain to general French when speaking to foreigners, and apparently now it's taking time to switch to, like, casual speech. Because, like, the lectures are not a problem. Like, the only issue with lectures is when they're speaking quickly, or, like, I miss a word and I don't have enough time to write everything down, but I've been understanding everything. But then, like, talking to actual French people has actually proven where, like, my French competences have most issues. But I guess that just means I need to work on it, you know? But yeah, that's pretty much it for this update. You know, realistically, it's not a bad thing to have a presentation. It's just annoying. And so far, anytime I've had a presentation that was worth credits, I have actually done better in those than the actual exams. It's just brings on a lot more anxiety. Really hard not to scream, but I'm just jumping around the room because my boxes, they finally arrived. Oh my god, that was the big thing that I needed to get done today, and now that it's done I can like move on to actual stuff, and I can breathe properly and actually enjoy the book that I started reading to distract myself. Oh my god. Relief.
Yeah, 산들바람 스쳐가는 사람 스며드는 사람 나는 어떤 사람 나는 좋은 사람 아님 나쁜 사람 평가는 가지각색 그냥 나로 살아 다들 살아가겠지 다들 사랑하겠지 다들 바래가겠지 입체가 됐지
I'm actually so pissed right now. I was basically crying a second ago. I opened only one box so far, but so much of my crap is already broken. I don't understand how, like, intensely do you have to throw shit around so that so much stuff is broken. Literally, my water filter cracked, my kettle, like, this part of the kettle is completely broken on the side. This is all coffee, if you couldn't tell, which, okay, fine, the exploding coffee, like, I blame myself for. I should probably have just thrown that out instead of pack, but the issue is that now it's stuck to everything, and anything electronic that, you know, maybe that tea stand part could actually function, but I don't know because it has coffee in like all the nooks and crannies. But like, what hit me hardest was this mug, because it was actually a present and I barely even got to use it. Why does nothing just want to go to plan? Huh? Why are there so many fucking issues? I'm seriously hoping that I instinctively went with worst to best, and that the other boxes are gonna be fine. Technically, that was the one with the most breakable stuff because it was kind of my kitchen box, so the rest should be fine. But just, oh my god, this makes me so mad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 산들바람 스쳐가는 사람 스며드는 사람 나는 어떤 사람 나는 좋은 사람 아님 나쁜 사람 평가는 가지각색 yeah, yeah. 그냥 나로 살아 다들 살아가겠지 yeah. 다들 사랑하겠지 yeah. 다들 바래가겠지 yeah. Yeah, yeah. 입혀가겠지 yeah. 사람들은 변하지 나도 변했듯이 세상살이 영원한 건 없어 다 지나가는 happening Why so serious? Why so serious? Why so serious? I'm so serious I'm so serious I'm so 뭐 어때 스쳐 지나간 뭐 어때 yeah. 뭐 어때 상처받으면 뭐 어때 yeah. Yeah. 멋대로 돌아플지도 가끔은 속상해 눈물을 흘릴지도 뭐 어때 그렇게 살면 뭐 어때 yeah. Yeah. 물이 흘러가는 대로 흘러가 저기 끝이 뭐가 있을지도 특별한 삶 평범한 삶 그 나름대로 좋은 게 좋은 거지 뭐 좋은 게 좋은 거지 뜻대로만 되지 않지 불편한 다들 감수하지 극적인 상황들의 반복은 삶을 지치게도 해 사람들이 그런 거지 없으면 있고 싶기도 있으면 없고 싶기도 누가 사람이지 동물이라 했나 내가 보기에는 후회 동물이 분명한데 사람들은 변하지 너도 변했듯이 세상살이 영원한 건 없었다 지나가는 happening 너의 평범함은 되려 나의 특별함 너의 특별함은 되려 나의 평범함 나의 평범함은 되려 너의 특별함 나의 특별함은 되려 너의 평범함 뭐 어때 스쳐 지나간 뭐 어때 yeah. 뭐 어때 상처받으면 뭐 어때 yeah. Yeah. 멋대로 돌아플지도 가끔은 속상해 눈물을 흘릴지도 뭐 어때 그렇게 살면 뭐 어때 yeah. Yeah.
I just had a very nice, quiet, but very long day, and it feels like the beginnings of a routine. There were quite a few admin things that I still haven't gotten done, which is not great because now they are starting to get a little bit pressing. But apart from that, I'm just happy that things are finally sort of settling down, and I'm starting to understand like how the system works and how much work is kind of expected from me, and like how much work I expect from myself. And also like in terms of meeting up with people, and just I think I'm slowly finding that balance of like during lectures I don't really care if I'm not speaking to anyone, and if anything, like I prefer that I'm alone, like even if I'm sitting like on the side of the lecture hall somewhere, like I actually enjoy that. But then like also I'm happy that I do have people that I can like ask for help if I'm not getting something, or like to share notes if I can't like make it to class or something. So that's the little update so far. I'm really tired. My timetable kind of ended up being Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like full really busy days, and then a teeny bit on Thursday, and literally everything else is free, which is great, but it's also very exhausting for like the first 2 days. So till I get used to it, this can be interesting.
Fun fact about this boiler is that it only heats up water at 4 in the morning. I would know because I was still up at 4 in the morning when it started heating up water. But the interesting bit is that it means if I run out of water, say from doing dishes at like sometime during the day, I will not actually have hot water till the next morning, which has been fun. Good thing I shower in the mornings.
I have found my main issue with this great window above my desk is that during the day it is kind of impossible to sit here. It's not that it's necessarily hot, but it's just because Strasbourg is so much sunnier than the UK where I'm used to that I am literally blinded anytime I try to sit here. And then having a desk in front of a window and closing the curtains just kind of defeats the purpose. So I guess I'm probably gonna try and find places to work during the day and then work in the evening at my desk, because it is really great. I love it, but the sun is an issue sometimes.
Might just waste away, don't know what life about. Another day go by, don't know what got me down. June blues, yeah, I got the June blues, yeah. Walk around like who you, yeah. It's something you get used to, yeah. Go back to June blues, yeah. It's just the June blues, yeah. Walk around like who you, yeah. Just something you get used to. Breaking news got me breaking. I was present, hopeless, praying. Struck down at 20, plenty left to put behind you. You ain't peaked, devil's speaking, now they speaking about you, leave it alone. Hope you grinning while you watch your bros on some soulful sunny shit to brighten up a wounded soul. Honest, you the penny, pick it up like Chevy, New Age Machiavelli, disagree, don't tell me, now you with infinity, we 98, trust that he be good. On the ball like BB, don't make no mistakes, got the faith. The 18 just not gon' be the same. Finna bleed down generations, not gon' be in vain. Too young, why you gotta go, I just wanna know now, true now. Crying getting old, hope you free your soul, I might have caught the June.
Something about linguistics that never used to bug me before, but is a constant source of stress when I'm in France, is that quite a significant part of the sociolinguistics modules, which I did not enjoy in English already, just depend so much on your intuition of the language.
So right now we're going over like stereotypes and cliches and how they come about and that sort of thing, and we're testing phrases for whether they could be kind of changed up or if there's something set in the language that you can't really change. And for me, I have some semblance of like intuition for French, but I don't know any idioms or proverbs. So if you give me a sentence that logically makes sense, even if it's kind of a bit of a bizarre sentence, I would say that yes, you could change it, because to me there would be nothing fixed about it. But given it to a French speaker who like grew up with this language and knows the idioms and things, they would say that you can't change it because changing it would give it a completely different meaning. So my life right now has become a lot harder, where they're given a homework for like 20 minutes and it could take me hours to figure out if this is a proverb or not, if you could change things out, finding synonyms when my vocabulary is already like not fantastic with complex words. So work-related things just got a lot more complicated.
It's fever. She lives a double life, puts on a show.
So I opened my mailbox today, and in it is this wonderful magical box, and also just some confusion on my face because the letterbox entrance part to my postbox or whatever is around like this big. And it looks like it would fit from this angle, but it really would not have.
So I guess it comes as a very pleasant surprise that if I get any mail that theoretically fits in the entire mailbox, the reception actually will open it and just stuff everything in there, which is great, you know? Now I know that if I get any parcels that fit in the box, maybe not the actual entrance bit, I'll still actually get them and will not have to lug my ass all the way to the post.
Really care what Simon say. All the bad things, girl, I had to look past that. Call yourself a dime, I'm just trying to get my cash back. You be looking fine, so no wonder they can't match that. Louis V scarf, or I'm chilling with a dad hat. Whoa, slow it down like that. Just hold me down like that. Yeah.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features. You'll find her beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features. You'll find her beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her. She's a Mona Lisa.
Down, yeah. I've been feeling so down.
It's the 1st of October, so I'm ending this month's little video of my experience right here. I think so far I'm settling, you know, just sort of stuff like I'm not finding it quite so hard to keep up with writing things down in French, and I'm spotting my mistakes easier and I'm figuring out the right word quicker. And also it helps that like most of the administrative stuff is pretty much done. I'm just a little bit late on 1 or 2 things, but hopefully that gets done this week. And then it's pretty much done until the next semester. But now that I am slowly kind of finding my feet, I'm getting behind in other things like revising stuff, and apparently we're starting to have like tests and assignments soon, and I'm just like, I only just managed to start keeping up with lectures. But it's good. I'm enjoying it. You know, I feel like if anything, if I was worried about meeting people, if anything, that is where, well, I wouldn't say things are necessarily easy, but I find that I've actually managed to meet up with more people than I can possibly like continue speaking to regularly. So basically the thing is with me, if I like kind of start getting to know a person, I would want to actually meet them relatively frequently, but then I don't really have the energy to meet up with every single person that I've kind of started to become friends with. So I don't know, yeah. But in general, those are the current thoughts of settling and figuring things out as they go along. Everything is a lot more understandable now, I guess. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed / are enjoying this little ongoing series of mine that I hopefully will edit and upload relatively regularly. Like if you did. Subscribe if you want to see more. And I'll see you with the next one.